It's another Indian Nigerian film, and I mean, for someone who had fair thoughts about Namaste Wa'ala, I was a little excited for this film, I'm not going to lie. I had my hopes up a bit, but let's see, were those hopes dashed? Did I enjoy it? Was it worth my time? This series, not a film this time, is actually a 6-part series, or a 6-episode series rather. Did it do it for me? And did it do it for you? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section as I talk about it. I'm sure that many of you have seen it. So as you watch this review, please drop your thoughts in the comment section. And if you know that this review is going to be a deciding factor for you, if you're going to be watching or not, let me know in the comment section. If you're visiting my channel for the very first time, you're welcome. My name is Halimah Thebird, and I talk everything Nollywood. Yes, I am such a big fan of that industry, even though they disappoint me. But yeah, I'm always going to root for Nollywood. So let us talk about Postcards. A summary of the film. Set in cosmopolitan Mumbai and Lagos, Postcards follow the story of several characters whose lives intersect in a series of life-changing events. A story of 4 Nigerians living in India who struggle with questions of identity and acceptance. Let me say this first, that nobody actually struggled with identity in this film, and only Yemi's character, that's Tobi Bakre's character, struggled with acceptance by just one person. Okay, no, actually 2 people struggled with acceptance, but anyways, you get the gist. So yeah, I don't think that summary applies to everybody in the film, but let's keep going. The language spoken in this film are English and Hindi. This movie is directed by Amisha Daryani Ahuja, the same person that directed Namaste Wa'ala. The cast, like we already know, it is India and Nigeria, so we have mixed cast. We have Rajneesh Dugal. He plays Dr. Siddharth, my favorite in the film, by the way, for obvious reasons, for the plot. Rio Kapadia, he plays Kabir in the film. We have Uche Obunse, who plays Lola. Am I the only person that thinks that Uche Obunse and Jemima Osunde, they kind of look alike? They have such striking, maybe not striking, but they have a good resemblance. And yeah, I just wanted to point that out. We have Tobi Bakre, he plays Yemi. We have Sola Sobowale, she plays Auntie Bumi. We have Ibrahim Suleiman, he plays Bolu. We have Nancy Sime, she plays Isioma. Rahama Sadau plays Zainab, and RMD plays Olumide. So the 4 characters who are in India are Tobi Bakre, that's Yemi, Sola Sobowale, Auntie Bumi. Tobi Bakre, that's Yemi, is Auntie Bumi's son. We have Olumide, played by RMD, who is also Auntie Bumi's brother. And then we have Rahama Sadau, Zainab, who is Dr. Siddharth's wife. And yeah, we also have Isioma, that's Nancy Sime, who is Rahama Sadau's friend in this film, who comes to India for work, along the line into the film. So let's talk performance. I'm going to start with Dr. Siddharth. I think that's my favorite performance in this series, or maybe my second favorite. Yeah, I think he was pretty good in this film. My favorite performance would be Rahama Sadau. I like the fact that she owned it. I think she did really well in this film. She had, like, she controlled every scene that she was in. She took authority. She was really good. She commanded her presence. The way she switched from English to Hindi as well, it was so good. It was definitely giving, oh, I'm married to an Hindi man and I know my onions, right? I really liked Rahama Sadau in this film. Performance-wise, every other person, Sola Sobowale was very monotonous. I think her performance is similar to many other performances that we've seen. She also did a bit of voice acting in this film. She was narrating at the beginning of it, which was poorly done. I hated it. I'm not going to lie, I hated it genuinely. And Tobi Bakre was very stiff in this film. From Nigeria, when I watched the first episode, they shot it in Nigeria. I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe it's because they're still in Nigeria. Maybe when they all travel, maybe it would be better, right? But yeah, Tobi Bakre was very stiff in this movie. And for someone who is an amazing actor, I just did not understand why. RMD as well. I actually liked RMD's performance to a reasonable extent. I just didn't connect with his character. I think that's what it is for me. I mean, for the first half of the series, I liked RMD when he was quite annoying. I just generally liked the annoyingness of his character. It was nice. I liked Nancy Isime for her one scene dramatic, vibe that she brought on. I think it was interesting. It was just like the moment she came on, I felt like maybe this was going to be a breath of fresh air. Or in that moment, it was actually a breath of fresh air. When she came with her hat and she was flipping and laughing. It was just really nice, right? Who else in this film am I going to talk about their performance? Nobody else. I think Ibrahim Suleiman, he was pretty just okay in this film. And yeah, that's pretty much it about performance in the series. So to what I liked about the film or the series now, guys. The art design, graphic design, whatever we're going to be calling it, it was so beautiful. It was so colorful. I believe that thought actually went into it. I believe that, they wanted to do something and they actually did it, right? The pretty faces as well. People looked so beautiful in this film. Everybody was just looking bright and shining and their faces were glowing. Apart from Tobi Bakre wasn't glowing in this film. But everybody else, Rahama Sadau, Dr. Siddharth, RMD, everybody just looked really nice, and the colors in this film, they popped. I liked it. Rahama Sadau as well, I feel like she thrived, from speaking English to just commanding the entire space that she was in. I really enjoyed her performance in this film. I also like the chemistry between Zainab and her husband, that's Dr. Siddharth. I think it was really nice. I think there was a bond. I also liked the dynamic of Kabir and Olumide, that's RMD, and his friend who happened to be the accountant. I liked it. I think it was pretty done well. When you have the lively friend and then the one who is just so introverted or so annoying, but you just get this friend and you just like to be around them, even though they frustrate you, you still are there for them. So yeah, I liked the dynamic of their friendship in this film as well. So to the things I did not like: the entire story. Everybody's story flopped. Every single person, their story flopped. It did not hold water. It could not have held water. There was no development to it. There was no depth to the story. The story was so poorly written that from the beginning to the end, I kept asking myself, why? We're going to get to it. I'm going to talk about each person's story, but that's just the summary of it. So the title as well. I didn't understand the title in relation to the film. And I had an issue with that. You say it's Postcards. How does Postcards interpret to the film I watched? I did not just get it. I also didn't like how preachy this film was. It was so preachy that I felt like every scene, every line is supposed to be a lesson. I'm supposed to come and take lessons in this film and get my note and start writing things down. Saying, we've made peace with God, this and that. And how people were just switching between their thoughts because of probably one conversation or the other. It was just jarring to me. So yeah, let me talk a bit about each person's story. I'm going to start with Auntie Bumi. That's Sola Sobowale's character. So Sola Sobowale, who is sick, they say she has fibroid, is supposed to go to India for more checkups and possibly surgery. She didn't want to go initially, right? And then she finally agrees to go. So tell me why when she gets to India, she is screaming at the top of her voice that they actually want to do surgery for her. Her entire story, the entire arc of her story was based on the fact that she was going to India to fix her fibroid. And now she gets there and what she thinks that it's just paracetamol they're going to give her. Like you fly all the way from Nigeria to India and you think you just come and rub your tummy and say, there's fibroid inside it. Sister, be honest with yourself. And then this woman had a whole shop in Lagos, Nigeria. She was the life of the party. She had weddings to attend. She had so much to do. She was owing people money. And then suddenly she comes to India and that entire part of her life erases. Boom, it is gone. Are we being serious? Because we never hear from these people again. Then to Yemi, I genuinely do not see why Yemi was in this film or why the character Yemi existed. Tobi Bakre did not need to come all the way from Lagos to Mumbai. He could not even dance. So what was the point? If they had established the fact that, oh, we want an African face in our film or a Nigerian face in our Bollywood film, it would have made sense. But he was the only person of color. I mean, okay, they are all people of color, but he was the only black person in that, video vixen, whatever. And you want me to believe that is, enough reason to bring Tobi all the way from Nigeria to India. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense to me. What was the reason for bringing him? And then Dr. Siddharth and Ramat. So Dr. Siddharth has one conversation with his patient that he has just met, and his patient asks him about kids, and then suddenly he wants kids after he has agreed with his wife that they wouldn't be having kids. And now just that one conversation changes his mind. I understand that people change, their mind changes, their thought changes and all of that, but that was just such a sudden switch, and that bothered me a lot. And even Rahama Sadau, she didn't have like concrete reasons as to why she did not want to have kids. Like their entire story was just so flawed. And then for a doctor, a whole ass medical doctor, you do not want to have kids. Your wife does not want to have kids, but you people did not use any contraceptives. You people did not put anything in place to make sure that that is protected. Really. So much for being a doctor. Yeah, like I was saying, that their reasons for moving to India did not just fly with me. Son moved, mother moved, they didn't know they were both in the same country, yada yada. That's boring, guys. That is so boring. I also want to say that the Nigerian actors in this film were bad. Now, this doesn't affect them as people because these are actually really good actors. Like RMD is there, Tobi Bakre is there, Rahama Sadau, Sola Sobowale. These are actually good actors, right? So seeing them in this film and seeing how they flop for the most part of it is alarming. It's really, really alarming. I don't know if it was a directing problem or they just could not connect with the characters they were playing. There was just so much disconnect. The entire film just feels poorly thought out, poorly written, poorly executed. There's so much more I could say about this film, but I'm just going to leave it here. So I have a side note, guys. This is not a reflection of just Postcard. This is an observation for Nollywood this year in general, right? There hasn't been any great film this year. This is May, guys, and I'm sure that many people have forgotten most of the titles that have come out this year. I have forgotten. Viewers are so bored. Like nothing is actually sticking with us anymore. Critics have started to sound repetitive and cliche because it seems as though we are watching the same movies with just different people acting. Like it is in everything apart from the good camera quality. Like cinematography has been good these days, stories are bad, actings are cringe, directing is poor, the entire production of the film is just below par. And it's beginning to feel like we're going to just resort to YouTube films because there's barely any difference between mainstream Nollywood and YouTube Nollywood at this point. Everybody's just releasing their bad films and expect that, viewers will just eat it all up, right? And it's annoying. God will help us in this country. That's all I can say. God will actually help us with the number of bad movies that we've been churning out this year. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Postcards. There's so much more I'd like to say, but I am going to leave it here and leave you guys to talk about everything else in the comment section. Do you guys think I'm overreacting and this series wasn't that bad? Because there are some people that actually like it I don't. I'm not one of them. But what do you guys think so far? Let me know it all in the comment section. I've come to the end of my review. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have seen Postcards, let me know what you think of it in the comment section. Do you agree with some of the things I said? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section. And I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.